Hello. Welcome to What Are We Reading? Guess who's not dead?
Me.
I've used this joke before. Um,
Yeah. Last time it was the librarian. This time it was because we're literally sucked my
it's
soul.
Willism.
I feel like the idea of capitalism can be honored, but it seems to attract a lot of scummy individuals.
Yeah, funny that. Um, so we're doing another thing of taking a look at some video game creepypastas because, well, life's already a nightmare, so why wait for October?
Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah,
Send us your October spoopy, creepy pasta stuff now.
yeah. If
Maybe
you
we'll
have any
get some fun.
suggestions for that, look at this. Put them in the comments. I might look at them, or go to our Patreon. I'll look at them.
Or subscribe to my OnlyFans, and I'll read them to you in a sensual voice.
We have joked about no, oh wait, no, we didn't joke about doing that actually on stream. I made a joke about
That
just
just sounds mean-spirited. I would never insult people. I am a very nice person.
but what if they paid you?
um, sorry. The only people that I insult are my many kismisai. I guess that'd be it plural.
I
Hey,
now I'm thinking about harem animes in the Homestuck universe, and I don't like it. Um,
an entire harem anime where everyone just hates each other.
so harem anime,
Well, no, they like.
so much physical abuse.
You know what? That actually could translate very well.
It's just less transparent about it this time.
There's just a bunch. Everyone's a tsundere.
Oh no, that sounds like hell.
Oh, it's not like you
But
like it or anything. You're just in unison.
I wish to die. um, but we're starting off with newly single. Links to each of the things that we're going to be reading is going to be in the description. This is a Huniepop creepypasta.
Nice.
Do you have it pulled up yet?
Oh yeah. I was prepared for Honey Pop. Wait, there's a video to go with this.
I'm not sure if that's. I think that might be just like an actual like video of someone else reading it or something.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's like 30 minutes long, so probably.
I think I listened to someone read it, and I just remember like this is really dull.
Aww.
Alright. One new message from KevinLR89 at gmail.com. Subject, brief explanation. Body, Jeff?
Jeff. You are likely baffled and upset by what you have just experienced, but all will become clear. I hope by the end of this correspondence.
First
Is
and
this a
foremost,
business letter?
I now I remember why this was so weird. First and foremost, I'd like to once again offer condolences on the passing of your wife. This statement may prove to sound counterintuitive after you have read the remainder of this letter, but I truly do empathize and sympathize with you in your loss. That does not negate the other emotions I hold for you in the least. The jealousy, rage, pity, and despair I feel all swirl in a whirlwind of confusion even after so many months of analyzing and praying over the loss of our mutual friend.
I heard your wife just died, so let's play Honey Pop.
We gotta get back up on that horse. Wait. No, wait, this isn't jumping back into the dating game.
Wait a second.
This is the opposite.
Unless this is a, Giffany or Jiffany situation.
Gravity Falls.
It's a good thing that some people still take the time to check the spam folders in their email accounts. Jeff Bauman always checks his. This dude's already a lizard person, I can tell. I usually found
This is
something
in the third person. That is weird for a creepypasta.
You're right. I usually found something interesting that he would have otherwise missed. Today it was a message from a mutual friend and his late wife, Erin? Why did you put your friend in the spam folder?
Um, Based on what was said earlier, I think it's because Kevin was an asshole.
Man named Kevin. Kevin something. Truth be told, Kevin was much closer to Aaron than he had been to Jeff, and that was fine. But the two sometimes used to email each other interesting news stories or games, sometimes videos. This particular message appeared to have been sent several times in the past week or so. Oh, so that's why it's in the spam folder. Jeff simply thought that this message contained some especially funny video or amusing game, and Kevin wanted to make sure it got through. Hey man, I know you like girls, right? I got a game for you to try.
Now I understand why Kevin was jealous. He wasn't jealous of Jeff, he was jealous of Aaron. That's why he's been filling his spam folder. So I heard you were available. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're audible.
Alright. It was a bit strange to get a message from Kevin out of the blue like this. They hadn't really spoken much since the funeral. Honestly, Jeff had always wondered if his wife had a little bit of a crush on Kevin. What does this have to do with Huniepop?
Who knows?
Jeff never worried too much about it. At 27 and 24 years old when she died, he and Aaron had been married for a few years, and if she had a little crush on another guy, it didn't make him feel too jealous or threatened. The third person perspective is throwing me off so much. Okay, so one of the strengths of creepypastas, is the fact that they are internet campfire stories.
Yeah.
One of the things that kind of works well about that is that one of the things you can do with them is start off in a format of believability and then just fucking go off. Starting this from a first person perspective, like, so this happened. Which is why so many of them have so many fucking weird names of, like, why I don't drink milk at 2 a.m. on a Saturday.
What?
Because it's like one of those whole things of, like, so this weird fucking shit happened to me? And that's kind of what, like, draws you in. It feels like a post that someone has, like, it tends to, like, start off feeling like a post that someone has made, and kind of goes from there. And that's honestly kind of one of the strengths of creepypastas, is that they work off of that. That is kind of what makes a creepypasta captivating, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
It starts off with that whole little thing of just like someone telling a weird story, a story of a weird thing that happened to him once. Like, you see that all the time on social media. And just like with everything on social media, whether or not it's true is very much up for debate. Usually not. But, so, third person just feels weird.
Yeah. I can't wait for the Baldi's Basic copypasta or creepypasta stuff.
Are there FNAF creepypastas?
God, I hope so. If we
I was
finish
like,
this
I
in
know
time, let's look it up.
I know there's like the actual like FNAF books, which apparently the latest ones that aren't like massive story-based things, but instead are just like a whole bunch of like anthologies aren't
They're like
bad.
3 small stories each, yeah.
Yeah. Granted, I will say that like like or whether how you regardless of how you feel about like the FNAF like franchise as a whole, Scott has like a amazing work ethic on this sort of thing.
I can give props to any man who took something as simple as Five Nights at Freddy's, pretty much
Yeah.
made it himself, and has gotten it this popular.
Do you know why he started, like why he made the first game?
I think it was like a last-ditch effort because his last game failed, right?
Basically, like his last game failed. It was that woodchuck, like that thing with the woodchuck. But part of it was that Jim Sterling did like a video on it in which he like compared the CG models for the characters to horrific like Chuck E. Cheese animatronics.
Oh,
And Scott Cawthon went into a bit of a depressive slump for a bit, and then was like, you know what? And just like took that criticism and fucking rolled with it. And I have to commend him on that.
that dude used to release a game like every like once a year too, right? That's pretty impressive on its own.
There is a new one coming out, and it has caused Scott to like fucking like go off at the Funko Corporation because they
Yeah, because they
released a
spoiled it.
spoiler. Yeah.
Oh, I remember looking on Reddit, and it's just like a picture of like Scott Cawthon on the way to Funko Pop headquarters.
But like another thing that's been also happening recently is people doing like shit like making fun of Yandere Dev because it's a similar situation, but Yandere Dev has been doing fucking nothing.
Yeah, I've been like hearing about everyone just dogpiling that man.
People have like been trying to see how fast they can get banned from his like Patreon Discord.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a while ago. Oh,
but
that's
basically like
sorry.
there's been stuff recently that's like the Virgin Yandere Dev and the Chad Scott Cawthon.
Just a... uh, yeah, the whole thing's a mess here. Just
Yeah.
look at this. Actual footage of Scott Cawthon himself walking up to Funko headquarters.
And like I haven't fucking kept up with FNAF in ages, but it's weirdly like comforting that it's still going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's still managing to do this. Yeah, good on him.
I'm subscribed to Game Theory, so every once in a while he'll make a Game Theory
Yeah.
video. I'm like, all right, FNAF is her thing. But just
Uh,
reminds me, I used to look specifically for the most cringiest Five Nights at Freddy fan art I could find, and that let me just say, don't go down that rabbit hole. Trust me,
no, no.
it's not worth it.
I don't know why animatronic inflation is a thing, but it is.
Um, that's
Not the worst
physically
of it.
impossible. That's just I don't want to think about robot inflation.
Yeah, I don't think anyone who isn't into that does. How
You just
do we?
reminded me of a picture I found that I saved on my phone because it's just so funny.
Oh, God.
And it's a picture of a giant, robot, Gundam lady, right? And she's like,
Yeah.
"Pilot, get in." And it's just like implied that it's in her mouth. But she just ends up swallowing this dude, and he's just like, "Where's the pilot seat?" And she's like, pilot seat? What do you mean?" So this dude
I
just
haven't
gets
seen
swallowed by
that
a
specific.
robot.
Oh, well then.
Here, it's not lewd in any capacity, and I think it's just hilarious, so I'll just like post it in the other chat, but like
Yeah.
the
Uh,
the sheer just the sheer goofiness of this is just I don't know why I always found this so funny. Just here, look at that.
uh.
Like it's so casual, like controls.
This is the second time you posted Vor in that chat.
That's because I think Vor is hilarious.
I'm just gonna say not my thing and leave it at that.
It's not my thing either, but it's just I always run into it for some reason.
Yeah. Not kink shaming anyone who's into that. Luckily, it's one of those things that you can't practice. Big
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the top of Often Not Safe for Work, and I forgot that this picture was in there.
Oh my! I forgot about. Fuck it out! It's your line.
Sorry, right. Um,
Subject of the email.
the subject of the email, hey man, check this out, was vague enough that Jeff had no idea what was in it, only noting that it had several
Anytime,
attachments.
anytime I've ended up with an email like that, it was just dick pics.
Mine's mostly viruses, which one I'd rather have, but you know.
At least the
The email
dick
read
pic doesn't
attachments.
destroy your computer.
Yeah. The email read that his attachments contained a few cracked Steam games and a bootleg copy of the new Avengers movie that wasn't coming out for another week or so. The cracked games included titles from the Counter-Strike and Dead Island series, as well as two standalone games, Goat Simulator and Huniepop.
Oh my god, it's a goat simulator creepypasta.
I really hope that there's a Goat Simulator creepypasta. It's an actual joke.
And the goat screamed, but it wasn't a goat scream, it was a human scream. Uh,
It's a photorealistic goat.
I hate that phrase.
You don't like photorealistic goats?
No, there is something wrong about that phrase. Just, I, yeah. Just sounds gross.
Yeah.
Not being much of a PC gamer, Jeff was only vaguely familiar with Goat Simulator and Huniepop, and thought of them as simply novelty games. Weirdly enough, they kind of both became YouTube games. If you,
Yeah.
know what I mean. Like, I guess the easiest way to define a YouTube game would be something
Huniepop, because
like,
we played it on YouTube.
yeah, Huniepop, or FNAF, of course, or Doki Doki Literature Club, that sort of thing. Something that very much seems like it's been built to be played for an audience,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Goat Simulator was pretty self-explanatory, but all he really knew about Huniepop was that it was some kind of H dating sim, whatever that was. Yeah, and with Steam, you have to actually get a patch to actually get any of the nudes.
Yeah.
He knew that it was something to do with naked anime chicks.
Hey dog, you like naked anime chicks?
I don't know why. There's just something about. I guess I've never really been one for the term chicks for women. Like that might just be a personal thing.
Yeah, out of everything that you could call a woman, I'm pretty sure chick is just sort of in the middle, not super flattering, but not like the most insulting thing you
Yeah,
could call her. Like, you'd have to be you'd have to be pretty charismatic and have a certain accent to think I pull off calling somebody a chick.
yeah.
It's
Um,
like, I could only really feel like, you could successfully call a woman a broad if sound like you're a mobster.
so me and these brats. Um, Honestly, the one that immediately popped into my head was bitch, which the only way you could pull that off is that if your relationship with that person was the kind where that's just your guys' dynamic.
Yeah.
Like, what's up, bitches?
So I looked up the Honeypot Twitter, and they
Oh,
changed it to the Honey Q one. So now
yeah.
the profile just reads, "The cutest love fairy on the block. If I'm not busy teaching virgins how to get laid, I might post an update about my upcoming game, Honeypot 2, Double Date."
Oh, yeah, isn't that supposed to be a thing?
Yeah, they're releasing Honeypot 2, and I am like, I'm waiting for it. I'm like waiting, dude. I want it so badly.
He knew that it had something to do with naked anime chicks, and that was enough to pique his curiosity.
My kind of man.
A virgin. Uh,
Hey, well, for one, yes. For two, come on, dude.
also, we're talking about a man who was married.
Yeah, exactly. That's a joke I made earlier. Just that dude's just his wife died, and this friend's like, here, look at these naked anime ladies.
I kind of in a bad mood because my wife died. Would anime tits help? Yes.
Here, hands copy of Huniepop.
Is this what I send Ichitan pictures of Jasper when she's in a bad mood?
It's in the same vein.
Granted, it's not usually because someone died.
All right, but the question is she sexually attracted to Jasper?
Yes.
Oh, then this is exactly the same thing, but it doesn't sound as bad because it's not anime. And I can
Nah,
get
it's
it.
just anime inspired.
It's anime adjacent, yes.
Yeah.
But also I get it. It's Jasper. I mean, she's kind of an asshole, but who
Them
can
arms.
deny those pecs?
Isn't that everything? Fucking hell. Uh, so after a quick glance at the life of an adventurous goat, he started up game with the naked chicks.
He started my man.
I,
I really hope that there's like a creepypasta for every game he's like downloaded illegally.
Also, with Goat Simulator, how do you have a quick play of that?
I think he probably didn't really understand the game and just put it down.
Like any of my experiences with that, it's something that starts off like, yeah, I'll just do it for a few minutes, and then it fucking goes off the deep end, and suddenly you're summoning the devil.
I think if you don't play it the right way, like maybe he didn't, he wasn't very creative since he's not a PC gamer.
Isn't there an
Then
Xbox port?
I don't play Xbox. How should I know?
I don't know. I just
But
remember slinging people into the gas station to blow it up.
yeah, I never actually
That was
played
fun.
Goat Simulator. It didn't really seem like my kind of game.
Whereas for me, it's just I can destroy things with absolutely no consequences. I'm in. Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto without the consequences.
Yeah. You don't have like a star system in Goat Simulator.
You don't have to worry about people shooting you.
Yeah.
Aye. Intending to play a bit before watching the unreleased Avengers sequel. Forbidden fruit, as they say.
Ooh woo. Huniepop started with its jaunty tune and the image of the harem's worth of busty, western-looking anime girls. A promising
I,
start.
I,
My man. Although
this
I don't
fucking
like the phrase
purist.
western-looking anime girls. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I mean, the game's description mentions that it combines like Japanese tropes with rough Western writing, or like raunchy Western writing, but that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, that's not how they
I
fuck these
wouldn't
birds,
say
am
that
I
the
right?
I wouldn't say that the aesthetic is like Western world for the
Yeah,
most part.
it's really not.
Like the feel of the game once you actually start like with the dialogue and all that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, this is actually a very long fan fiction.
How long is this fucker? Oh yeah, that's right. Anyway.
Sorry, I scrolled down. Let me scroll all the way back to the top. Honeypop started with its jaunty teens. A promising start, although he and Aaron had checked out a few hentai videos early in their marriage on one drunken night. Well, truth be told, only Jeff had been drunk. Aaron had mostly giggled and made fun of the inane plots and ludicrously proportioned women.
Well, yeah,
You
that's
know,
what you do when you watch hentai with your partner.
Jeff
And
played
then you
along.
fuck.
Jeff played along, too embarrassed to admit that he thought the flick was actually pretty hot. This is about the thing he would most likely have hidden from his wife if she was still around. Aw. Or tried at least. Knock knock, hubby. I found your porn collection under the bed. It's our bed, so I don't know why you thought that it was a good hiding spot.
Also, if you're not okay with your partner watching porn, there's bigger issues.
Yeah.
I don't know why, my immediate thought is just that she was also making fun of it to hide the fact that she was also aroused. They're both just ashamed weebs. Yeah, this is just really stupid, right, honey? Yeah.
God, I wish my tits were that comically large. Not even for like, attracting people. Just look at all the just the sheer goofs I could do with boobs this size.
Man, I wish I could make that face.
God, I wish I was a pink fairy.
Oh, fuck. The Yahiago face just suddenly made me... Yo, fuck. Not gonna say anything about Belle Delphine except for the fact that I respect the grind. That's really it.
I'm going to
Other than
respond with I don't really get who she is still.
that,
All I know is that
honestly,
she made
yeah.
an I'm Back song, and I was like, alright, that's cool. I'm not going to watch this. Instead, I'm going to watch International Wrestling Festival.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No? Sounds vaguely familiar.
Do you know who
I haven't been
Anarchy is?
keeping up with professional... What? Who?
Do you know who Anarchy is?
Another where they sound familiar, but nah.
Okay, so essentially, it's a collab video where people mix music with a dude from a gay porno
Nice.
into music. So I essentially listened to a gay dude, and like that's my favorite video on YouTube. It's just music videos involving some super gay dude.
Gay
But like
porn remixes
yes, gay porn remixes. But the thing is,
right here in front of my salad.
apparently this dude's like Billy. I think his actual name is maybe Billy Harrington. I don't know, but
Hmm.
it's just apparently he's a super nice guy,
Yeah,
and that's why
that's
he
good
has
to
such
hear.
a good following. Is I think he was just when he figured out that like I think Japan fell in love with him first. He just kind of embraced it
I
instead of
got
like
ya.
trying to hide it. So everyone's just like, he's super cool.
Yeah, because Belle's whole thing is that she just is making like a ridiculous amount of money off of
She's
like
the
fucking
one who sold her
OnlyFans.
bathwater.
Yes, she sold her
Oh,
bathwater, which again, not my thing. But you know what? You're able to make money off of that. You fucking go. Go
move.
ahead. Like,
I
fuck.
respect it. Yes, I see
Yeah,
why you said you respect the grind. Anyone who can boldly sell their bathwater and get away with it, you have my props.
yeah. Like, like that sort of thing. Also, I found out that she recently like bought a car for one of those people who does like fucking commentary channels. Like she just fucking bought him a car. It's like, okay.
Power move.
It's like, you know, you may have ended up like getting in trouble with the cops over a hamster. Which granted, I think it was her pet hamster, so also relate. Um
Yikes.
like apparently someone pulled some shit with her pet hamster and she fucking went off on him for it and ended up in trouble with the law. And like, mood.
Do not touch the animals. Do
Yeah.
not hurt. Do
But
not
yeah,
hurt.
so like she's not my thing, but I respect the fucking grind. Like
Yeah.
Jeff played through the first tutorial round, and it became apparent that the main gameplay was going to be based on puzzle matching along the lines of Candy Crush or Bejeweled. Yeah, it is,
It
basically.
is. Yep.
Aside from some columns in Dr. Mario and the obligatory Tetris binge in his childhood, Jeff had really never played many tile-matching puzzler. Can you count Tetris as a tile-matching puzzler? It's like a
No,
different kind of puzzle game.
it is a very yeah.
I just
God,
that bugs me.
whoever made this is clearly an uncultured non-gamer. I say
But
that
yeah,
ironically, of course.
they use the phrase anime chicks.
Anime chicks.
And Western-looking anime girls.
You just gave me a picture in my head of just some dude who's like comically super for America. And he's just like, I only watch American anime.
So Avatar: The Last Airbender
And Steven Universe.
and Ruby.
Yes, Ruby is also technically American anime.
It's
It's
Texan
just like,
anime.
did you just say Texan anime?
Rooster Teeth is based in Texas.
You know, Texame. All right, yes. All right. It's my turn, right? My line?
No, I haven't finished mine. I
Oh,
just
my bad.
it was just a whole thing of I wasn't sure that Tetris should be included in that subgenre.
It shouldn't. It's a similar. It's a. Oh, I'm starting to get kind of drunk because I've been drinking. But yes,
Don't get smashed.
I'm not getting smashed. I haven't even finished my
Yeah,
first drink, which is impressive for me because I usually wolf things down. So I've been
yeah.
taking it slowly, but it's still vodka, so it's like 35%.
Face is starting to heat up.
Yeah, that's why I felt my face start to heat up a bit, and I'm just kind of warm,
Oh
so
yeah.
that's what it is. But sorry, I need to drink just because it's celebrating not working.
Okay.
But yeah,
And
Tetris
didn't
is
know
a
what.
puzzle game. They're all puzzle games, but it's a different kind of puzzle
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. It would be like if you put a tile matching puzzle game in there.
Yeah.
Or Minesweeper.
You just reminded me of Not Tetris. Have you
I
ever
miss
played that?
Minesweeper. I have not played Not Tetris.
Okay, so imagine Tetris, but the pieces are affected by gravity and they're not locked into tiles.
I hate that.
It's a horrible game and I hate it, but yes.
That sounds like Tricky Towers, but infinitely worse.
I'm just gonna trigger you by sending you a picture of Not Tetris.
Oh gods. And didn't know whether he liked them or not. As he continued to play through the dates in Huniepop, it became more apparent that he did in fact like this style of game. It does have a nice gameplay loop, though my brain turns to pudding whenever I have to do puzzle games. Depending on the puzzle game type.
I found another game that's exactly like Huniepop because it's literally in the same vein, like it's a puzzle switch thing.
Yeah.
And you do the same exact thing. You just win puzzles to loot people.
Yeah.
All right, but here's a picture of Not Tetris.
Ah!
That looks horrible, right?
Yes! Oh my gods!
If you're a bit OCD, I'm pretty sure this is triggering you, isn't it?
I'm not even OCD, I just hate that.
Do you want to know what's also bad too? When I mean it's affected by gravity, I mean it. So like if you hold down to go faster, you will literally have your piece slam into the ground and bounce.
Oh, and I can see it seems to clear along those along the actual lateral lines, meaning that it can clear diagonally. Oh,
It's more it's just really bad. It's like you have to get
oh,
like it's like 95% into those like tiles right there, so like it could like miss some or clean some. Every time I download this game, I have to undownload it because it just pisses me off.
oh, that is the worst. Oy, okay,
Yeah. So
okay. Fucking hell.
now is it my line?
No.
Oh fuck! Sorry, dude.
So much so that although he intended only to play for an hour or so, until 10 at the latest, then watch the pirated Avengers film, he wound up staying in the world of Huniepop until just past midnight without realizing just how much time has passed.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
having Q insult you will do that to you.
One, yes. Two, I want to say something really embarrassing and personal, but I want to know if you want me to say it or not.
Depends. Is this the kind of thing that you shouldn't be saying at all on recording, or
Probably.
say it after we're done?
Okay. All right. From Kevin, I really feel like LR89 stands for something.
89 is likely the year he was born.
No, but I mean like elite gamer speak, like Kevin
Uh,
Lorraine is like how you say that. I don't know, but
uh,
Kevin LR89 at Gmail sub a brief explanation. Body count CON apostrophe T.
yeah.
Oh, like continued. Okay,
Yes.
I thought he was misspelling don't.
No.
Dot dot dot. I need to remind you of the relationship the three of us had. I think you and I know more about the other than we ever let on. And Aaron is the common denominator in the equation.
What? If a man doesn't have his pride, his self-worth, if he lies in bed at night contemplating the day it could put a metal check mark next to each task he intended to fulfill save for one, night after night, what is his quality of life? When he realizes that good enough, despite one's best intentions, has never actually been good enough, what should be the next course of action?
Oh no, is this about to turn into a neckbeard? Is this
What
dude
does
about to
this
go
have
like?
to do with Huniepop?
Is this gonna go on full on sip mode? Hold on. The following day, Jeff could barely keep his mind focused during the therapy session, or the court ordered Alcoholics Anonymous meeting that came after. Oh, oh no.
Zane?
Hey, sir, I'll have you know that I've only drunken twice this week. Albeit that's, one more than normal and actually two more than average. Uh,
Definitely two more than Tom.
for sure. Tom's a big, responsible boy, all grown up. He was preoccupied with the thought of getting back to his computer to ask and answer more questions with his digital girlfriends. Oh no, he's going full neckbeard.
Look out, he's in Simpo mode.
Hey, even when I download a porn game with the full intention of using it for the same purpose, at least even I don't go, ooh, I'm eager to play it again. It's just, I'm just
I
like,
need to
ooh.
fucking finish the final level of Helltaker.
Oh my god, I hate that level.
I stepped away because my computer started lagging.
Oh, I can understand because that level just sucks.
Yeah,
Just skip it.
basically, like, I got all the way through. I think I got to phase 4? Yeah, I got to phase 4 because it switched to the Omega symbol. Um, and I noticed my battery was starting to get low, so I was like, alright, I'll plug my computer in. Immediately starts lagging.
Ooh, have you been collecting all the secret stuff?
I have not. I
Yeah,
didn't know there was secret stuff. Uh,
so some of the rocks, if you look at them, you'll notice they have certain things on them to discern them from differences. They have things under them. If you collect all of them, there's 3. You get a secret code to
do you
use.
have to finish the level when you collect the thing, or no?
No, no. I
Okay,
can,
okay.
yeah,
So I could go back and get all that stuff without finishing them, and then go back to that final level and do that proper.
yeah. And then once you're on the actual final level, you get on the carpet, which has an obvious thing on it. And if you stay in the right place and do the code, you can unlock the secret ending.
Okay. Because I know who the secret ending applies to, or at least I'm pretty sure I do because I've seen art of the character.
Yep.
Yep. I'm
But
not going to say
you
it
read the
right now for
conversation.
anyone who's what?
But you haven't read the conversation that happens because actually
No.
the actual secret ending that you have is really nice.
Okay. I'm not going to spoil it in case of anyone who's watching, who's listening, not watching.
Play
I don't
Helltaker,
do.
it's free.
Yeah, Helltaker is free. If you haven't played it, I'd suggest doing so.
It's probably better than this fan fiction that we're getting. Of course, the second it's just me and you, we get super distracted again.
I mean, it's also super distracted when it's me and Ichitan, but it turns mostly into just sex jokes.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I need to go watch those episodes then because I think that's hilariously adorable.
I remember one of them, like, she just, like, jokingly called me a dum-dum, and I just said, yeah, put me in your mouth and suck.
Oh, God. That's a level of energy I did not expect What Are We Reading to have.
That is just me and her's dynamic.
Yeah.
Apparently, like, the first time we ever hung out and like actually hung out. It was like me, her, and a couple of her friends. And she told me about this, like, soon after I left. What, like, her friend just went, I'm not sure how to feel about the energy that you two create.
If that's your energy in like video form, I need to watch it.
Like, there was, like, first, she, like, brought cupcakes. I swallowed one whole, ended up with
Dude.
frosting around my mouth. And she was like, yeah, you got something. This is not the first time I've had white stuff on my face like that.
Oh my god, dude.
Uh, she said something about putting my head between her legs. So yeah.
That's a big. I hope you made those. I hope you marked those episodes for adults only or age restricted content.
Honestly, with how often we read sex scenes, I should do that anyway, but then no one would see them.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna finish my line. All right.
Yeah.
By the time it could hold hands and recite the Lord's Prayer at the end of it, Jesus Christ, at the end of the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, he was ruminating over what drinks to buy each of his eager, sex-deprived lady friends.
Okay, Aiko is not sex deprived. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of those ladies in that game have more game than like your simp main
Wait,
character ever does.
yeah.
Lady
Uh,
friends when he met them at
one
the
of them's
bar.
literally a fucking porn star.
Yeah, that actually raises a very interesting question.
What is it?
Do you think porn stars like do you I wonder if porn star like I'm too drunk to process my thoughts, but I'm like, yes, they're technically in the act of having sex during porn, right?
Yeah. Uh, most of the time it's in some way simulated. After all, part of the whole, or not like fully
Like there
simulated.
is a
After all,
disconnect because this is business, not fun.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, and it's a whole thing. Like you'll have to redo takes and shit like that.
But
Um,
I'm wondering how many porn stars after work are just like, yes, ha ha ha, let's have actual sex now.
I'd imagine that it's probably with their own actual partners.
Of
Uh,
course, of
for
course.
those of
Like, no,
them
no,
that
no, no,
do.
no, 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 no. I mean, like,
Yeah,
non-married porn stars.
yeah. I don't know. Workplace dating is already kind of like a dodgy thing.
Do you want to like interview a porn star and like ask them very personal questions about their sex life?
uh, I mean, if you want to set up that interview, I'm pretty sure that there's probably like some Reddit AMAs or something like that.
Yeah, we could probably find something about it.
Um, but
Uh,
yeah, like
Anyways, this dude's taking a porn game too seriously, and that's coming from an actual certified degenerate like me.
yeah,
Because I don't
yeah.
know how many cringy things I say about porn games and hentai and anime, but I am well versed in that world, and I know for a fact that even this dude's too far gone.
I mean, we've literally had you playing them while we were reading.
Yeah, exactly. And even that was just to be a dick, just for fun.
I'm pretty sure you also said that you were farming like materials too. You weren't even actually doing any of the sex scenes.
Oh right, I was. See, like I wasn't even going that far. It's just like I got a farm. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like looking at porn while you're talking to someone else is just generally a faux pas.
Yeah.
Faux pas, not faux pas. Holy shit.
And just you're at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. You should be thinking about how you're bettering yourself, not how you want to have sex with fake people in a
You
video
you
game.
shouldn't be thinking about your fucking hose.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Both contents. I meant penis, but
Oh, like a watering hose. Okay, haha, I get it.
yeah. But I realized that it sounded like his hose.
Very good. That works both ways. I'll give you 5 stars for that.
Unintentional pun.
Yeah. All right. Their favorites were conveniently listed in the Honeybee, the in-game mobile database of girls, because Kyo thinks you can't remember shit. But Jeff
I
thought,
mean, I can't.
yeah. I just I swear so I've been looking. I'm just gonna spoil this because I don't think we're gonna finish this. But it looks like there is a secret OC girl in this, and I'm going to
Yeah.
predict right now that it's his wife in the game or some sort
That's the thing.
of it.
I
But
swear, like, I listened to, like, because the whole thing about creepypasta readers, most of the time, is you can kind of, like, you can podcast them. You just have them in the background listening to them while you're doing something else. And the thing is, I'm not sure.
if this is his dead wife, I really hope that it comes up to a question where he has to remember his wife's bra size, which is an actual thing you do in Huniepop, and I'm gonna be
I
I'm gonna
forgot about
laugh.
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh if that comes up because this fan fiction, this creepypasta is gonna get a 10 stars from me on a 5-star system if his dead wife says, "Do you remember my bra size?"
What's my cup size? Ooh.
Also, I'm just picturing Hunky Pop, like a version where it's all men, and it's like, "Hey, do you remember how big I said my dick was?"
Has anyone made Hunky Pop?
Oh, have you? So no one's ever finished Hunky Pop, but Hunky Pop is an actual thing, which is why I called it Hunky Pop.
Okay.
I'll give you the first episode because like it's just this lady who's been making it, but she's been doing it like she's
Yeah.
only done like four or five of 3 or 4 people, maybe 5, and it's been like a year since the last upload. But there, the
I can
playlist
fucking
you
see
can
Q in the fucking
see
thumbnail. Holy shit.
that's a big must mess. That's a boy, right? That's a big boy right there, right?
That's a big boy.
Mm-hmm. I gotta admit, the art for this is very impressive.
Oh yeah.
I'm not attracted to it, but I can like, I wish this was an
Uh,
actual thing. Like,
I remember, because like when Dream Daddy came out, people also did the Gingerbit version of that. Uh,
ah, I need to look that up. I didn't know there was a
Most of the art
thing.
was pretty good. Which that honestly does remind me of just like one of the things I noticed with like Honey Pop that I did actually kind of like is like a different like a feature. I don't think that you tend to see this a lot in like dating sims and shit like that, but you actually do get to choose your gender.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of dating sims just kind of assume that you're just the gender of what the love interests aren't.
I think one of my favorite parts of Honey Pop is the way you woo over the girls. I mean, it's very easy, and I'm pretty sure you can't fail. But I like how a lot of the conversations where you actually interact and meet them for the first time is just kind of, it's very clear you're flirting with them, but
Yeah.
the stuff you say isn't really, it feels organic as that could be.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Like
they
walking
actually
up
did
to a
put some
girl and
effort.
being like, fuck the birds, am I right? Like,
Yep.
I remember that line because it's just so funny and it makes her laugh and that, kind of makes sense. Like, you're very charismatic and you just said something funny and it worked, but.
Yeah.
That
So
was
did
my
you read the final part of your line? Because
No, I haven't yet. We've been postponing it. Let
oh
me
my gods. Mm.
But Jeff thought it would be good to mix things up for them as well. No, no. If you know what they like and you get one, you give somebody what they like because they like it. Two, you don't mix it up for them.
This isn't a. Oh my god! I just which there was one of the fucking Metal Gear games in which like basically like one of the things that was done is like the more you eat a specific food, the less it increases your health.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining like someone like taking that level of detail and putting it in a fucking dating sim.
You've been giving the girls booze for so long, their tolerance has increased.
They really like this drink, but you've only been giving them this drink, so they're kind of getting tired of it.
Ah, that'd be cool too.
Because that's the whole thing in like that Metal Gear game. Because it's like Snake's favorite, like Solid Snake's favorite food was like fucking cup ramen or some shit. So that would give him the biggest health increase. But if you were only doing cup ramen, it would start decreasing the amount of health he would gain from it.
Yeah, because it's just like, oh god, cup ramen. I understand
Like
that
I
because
like it, but
like I really love spaghetti and I eat a fuck ton of it. Sorry if I'm not
yeah,
supposed to be cursing, but
I'm pretty sure I've been saying fuck, so.
But it's like, what I do is I cook one meal and I eat that for like every single meal until it's gone.
Yeah.
So fairly often I get tired of spaghetti because it's just, oh great, spaghetti.
Yeah.
And I've been eating it like 3 days straight.
It's kind of like how I'm not big on, like, sandwiches, because just span in my life in which I would basically be eating a sandwich every day.
Oof. Yeah, that could get tiring.
Yeah, when making your own lunches will do that. I
Yeah.
don't have time to make anything else. But yeah. Anyway, returning home that afternoon, the plan had been to watch Avengers Age of Ultron and then play some more Huniepop. About 30 minuted
30 minuted? Hey.
into the pirated movie, Jeff realized that he hadn't been paying attention and barely knew what was going on. That just
I
sounds like an
swear,
Avengers movie.
I swear, if he's been worrying about his honey pop girlfriends.
Oh my god. It's like, I've done like I think I actually like one of the games I have on my phone is just one of those like virtual girlfriend ones because I was like, oh hey, this seems like an interesting spin on it.
Okay, I
I'm
have
not
something also
doing
to
this
add
sort of
real
shit.
quick that has been
What?
really ruining my immersion for this entire fanfiction.
Third person?
I'm going to pull up Honey Pop. I have played this game for 16 hours maximum, which is a pretty large number for this game, right?
Yeah.
That's because I've played it at least once, twice, maybe 3 times,
Yeah.
where I've gone and completed the entire game. This is not a long game by any stretch of the word, unless
Oh yeah.
you're completely abysmal at puzzles.
Like me.
Yeah,
Um,
then there's
I am
item and
bad.
other stuff.
I, I am bad at like fucking color matching puzzles specifically.
No, no,
I
I
am not.
completely understand.
I'm not good enough at thinking ahead for those sort of things, so I'll just fucking do something impulsively and just fucking ruin every other move after that.
Yeah, but those first few levels are completely easy. Even I struggled a bit on normal
Oh yeah.
mode with some of those, like
I
the
think
puzzle
like
to get those last few girls.
yeah, I think like the first date I ever actually failed was like uh a few days in or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is probably a 10-hour game if you're trying to get all the achievements, which it sounds like this guy
Yeah.
is doing. Like he's getting all the achievements, he's getting all this. Ow, I just punched my ping pong table and I actually cut
Ow.
myself.
Oh.
It's fine. It wasn't like a big cut. It's just like
Yeah.
it didn't pierce. I didn't even bleed. It's just
Yeah.
first but he's like doing all the achievements, doing all the girls, and he's doing everything in this game. I bet if you even if you looked up a guide, which I'm sure at this level you would, it would
Hmm.
probably only take him maybe an hour if he was intentionally trying to do everything as hard as possible.
Yeah.
He might have to restart for a few achievements, like spend the night with a girl within 4 days, which means you have
Yeah.
to grind out a girl only.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say that this dude's just he's majorly simping, and I really just
He's gone
my
simpo mode.
immersion. Yeah, my immersion for this game is ruined because this dude's clearly not a pro gamer.
It also feels like he's treating it more like an immersive thing. Like I don't that the end of that previous paragraph, the only thing I can think of is that like he's treating it more like Second Life. Which no.
Yeah,
Like do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you don't exactly go in there to like hang out, I
yeah.
guess. Like I don't know, it's just uh he decided to finish the flick later after a few dates before starting the game up. He shot a quick message to Kevin, thanking him for the movie and the games and the dating sim in particular. The response in P would go unread until after the Honeypop session was done a few hours later.
I bet this dude saw Connie Cam Studio. His head would explode.
The fucking dick trophies.
I remember that people like read the comp for that game, and like within like a few hours there was actual strategy guides for that game that I followed to try to get as best as possible.
All I
Oh
can ever
right, there's
think of.
a freaking alien in this game. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. The main thing I remember is just from the Markiplier playthrough where he like did that one, and then at one point during like the sex, like the part where you have sex with her, I just remember him like yelling out, "Is that a goat sound?"
Uh, this is actually making me want to play the actual Huniepop. Jeff had formulated a strategy for playing the game. Oh my god, this dude's like he's going pro gamer mode for Huniepop. God,
Ah,
he's pathetic. I mean, his
uh,
wife's dead, but still, like, come on, dude. Huniepop is the game
this
you're
is
recovering from.
this is not how you get over your dead wife.
So there's another game on Steam called Wish, which is literally just Huniepop, but it's like medieval era fantasy setting.
I got you.
But it's also anime, so there's this girl in the game that I love just because one, she has probably the most biggest tits in the entire series. But her entire gimmick is that she's supposed to protect the barrier essentially from our world to the fantasy world.
I got you.
So there's just this girl who's sitting on her phone on what I swear was like a dating app because I think it mentions she swiped right,
Ah,
or it's either that or she's been on Facebook the entire day. So it's just this girl with a huge sword and like a princess dress on a cell phone in a fantasy setting, and everyone just kind of looks at her like she's insane because she has a phone. And
yep.
it was the most hilarious thing too. What added to it too is that this game has the worst English I've ever seen. The grammar is horrible, and half the time I don't know what's going on because the English is that bad.
Fucking hell. Uh,
It's just that amazing.
fuck, that other world shit's just now fucking reminding me of, I started reading, like, the, like, like, the villainess isekai type, like, manga and manhwa.
Oh, I wasn't going to mention this because, I've been specifically finding really different strange manga.
Yeah.
And the manga that I found was called, I know I've just interrupted you because you're talking about it, but it was called The Villainess Who Will Crush Her Destructive End Through Modern Firepower. And it's
I
about
heard about that one. Haven't read it.
it's a isekai story about a girl, for one,
Yeah.
who in Japan was a firearms nut, essentially.
Fucking hell.
So she wakes up as a 4-year-old, not even lying, 4 years old. Like she
Yeah,
comes down the
like,
stairs to like
I've seen, like, the cover art, which has it, to, it's fucking lolly with a big gun.
yeah, because that's literally what it is, and I've been reading it, and it's hilarious because this girl, nothing about it is sexual in any
Yeah.
capacity. It's just this girl who's capable of doing magic. It's just like, oh my god, I can do magic. I'm going to create firearms instead of
Yeah.
using her feet to like make fire or like fancy setting stuff. She's literally just
Yeah.
like at one point she makes a jetpack and she's incapable of flying because her thoughts of flight remind her of a helicopter, and because a
Ah.
helicopter is of a more mechanical machine, she's incapable of flight because her mind's trying to imagine her flying like a helicopter instead of flying like
Like
by
a jet?
herself. Yeah. So eventually to, get around this, she makes an actual jet engine.
Ah.
And the most recent episode on the thing that I'm reading, at least, is her
Yeah.
finally going to school because the gimmick for her world is that she's in a dating game where she's
Yeah.
essentially the bad guy who ruins the
Oh, yeah.
life of the main character. And she's just like, I don't want to end up doing that. So I'm going to try to fight fate so that my family name doesn't get, buried to the ground because that's what happens to the main character at the end of the game. And
Yeah.
she's finally gone to school with the main characters, and literally her first impression is her trying to fuck with someone and getting in trouble for it because the I think she calls them captures, is what
Hmm.
she calls the men. She calls men captures in this, that they're the potential dates of the
Yeah.
main character. And
It's usually either something like that or targets, stuff like that.
and she's
Is
essentially just like making a very bad first impression on her capture, and she's just gonna
yeah.
look. The other one I've been reading is, if I can find the name, is another lolly manga essentially. Well, I've actually found two. This one's is called "I Was Summoned by the Demon Lord, but I Can't Understand Her Language," and that's
I've
kind
come
of just like
across that
lolly.
one. That one, it was one of those things of if this wasn't a lolly character.
Yeah. So I've been reading it though, just because I don't really care. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna pop a boner from her loli, but I just think it's
Well,
hilarious
yeah. It
because
just,
just
I guess for me, it's just more that it always feels uncomfortable when they try to do something sexual, and then it's like, yeah, but.
yeah, but there's nothing sexual in this one as far as I can tell. The main character is also
Okay.
a child, or he looks like a child. So
Okay.
it's just like it's a very child romance where it's just like, oh, she's cute, but he's not like, oh,
Yeah.
I wanna stick my dick in
Yeah.
her or anything.
Um. Because there's okay for me. There's been a few that I've been reading. Like two of them are ones where the main character is reincarnated as the villain. Uh,
Oh.
One of them apparently, like, there's a few versions of this story where basically the difference between them is at what point she gets reincarnated.
Oh.
So, like, there's one where she gets reincarnated earlier in the story, but this one that I'm reading, she gets reincarnated like a few weeks before like the endings of the game happen, and she's already on the track for any of the bad endings for her.
Oh no.
And so she has a few like weeks to make everything better, so she starts like working to befriend like the main character of the game and trying to make amends and shit like that. Um, there's another one. I think it's called like Lady Rose Wishes to Live a Quiet Life or something like that. Uh, the thing is that the main character reincarnated as the like the main heroine of the video game, and immediately tried to get herself the bad end so that she would be stripped of her noble title and could live as a peasant. And as you find out more about her, you understand why she did that. But my favorite is actually a manhwa, I believe, like South Korean web comic, specifically a web comic, um, called "Beware the Villainess."
Ooh.
Holy shit! I fucking love this story. Um, this one, it's not a game; it's a novel that they got reincarnated into as like the main villain.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's absolutely hilarious to me is the fact that they call out the fact that the characters like the male leads like the male love interest in this like love interests in this book would be terrible to deal with in real life,
Really?
to the point where she when she meets the heroine is fucking exhausted from having to deal with these people.
Wow.
One of them's a fucking yandere.
Oh no.
Another one's a cheating asshole, and the last one's the villain. One of them's the villainess's brother, and then there's finally like the leader of like the werewolf kingdom or whatever.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
and all of them are fucking insufferable, and it's hilarious.
There's
Uh,
two other manga I've been reading.
but
One's called Don't Cry Mao-chan, and it's about the demon lord who's, she looks like a
but
small child essentially, but it's just
yeah,
all the heroes think she's so cute because she looks like a small child, so they don't try to kill
yeah,
her. But she's also super powerful, so she ends up killing them. But because
yeah,
it's one of those worlds where the priests revive, they
yeah.
keep coming back to bother her, and she's just like, please stop. And the other
But
one is I've become. All right, you say your first, and I'll say my last one.
so, sorry, no. Basically, like one of the moments I distinctly remember from Beware the Villainess that just had me fucking ecstatic was a moment where the main character calls out the fucking author of the novel she got reincarnated in. Literally, it's like a whole thing of they're dealing with one of the male love interests, and one of the things that's stated is that it was stated in the book that he was a very intelligent person that was always one step ahead. And she just goes, he's not really acting like that. He's kind of just acting like a petulant child. Then again, now that I think about it, he never really was smart in the books. They just said he was. Most of the time he just solved things by showing up at the right time or through plot armor.
Yeah.
I think that really he was just limited by the author's ability to write. I think really his written intelligence was just limited by the author's intelligence. Now that I think about it,
Really calling out other people.
calling out the author of the universe, she was just like fucking hell. I love that because that's one of those things that you see of like people who aren't very smart trying to write genius characters,
Yeah.
and it's just like fucking hell.
Honestly, back when I used to do roleplay, I tried playing smart characters, but then I realized I wasn't very smart, or not like I'm not dumb, but like
Yeah,
I'm not vast into like genius level. So
yeah,
I went back to playing. I played characters that I knew how to play, not things I wished I
yeah,
could. Yeah. And then the last manga
yeah.
I've been reading is called "I Became Mother of the Demon Lord's Children." And when I read the
Okay.
synopsis, it's gonna sound really bad. A woman from modern era Japan is summoned to the demon world for the sole purpose of giving birth to children.
Well,
Yeah, and at the very beginning, it even like kind of plays off like the situation is kind of sucky for her,
yeah.
but the reason she was summoned is specifically because she wants to be a mother.
Okay.
Like, this isn't somebody who's being forced into this. This is a woman who sat down and said, "I love my
So it's
mother. She
literally
died
just
very early, so I want to be a mother as good as her."
So it's literally just like, I wish I was a mom. It's up in hell. So we heard you're looking for an opportunity.
That's literally what happened. And what it is
Fucking
that
hell.
people who are summoned to that world, essentially their children are super strong, like I guess because of the mixed genes.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So essentially, this super kind of standoffish, dickish demon lord
yeah.
slowly warms up to this woman, and it's just kind of a very comical manga because she gets pregnant, but like the children are born in like 3 seconds.
Well,
So she's not stuck pregnant for long periods of
yeah.
time. She's made pregnant, and then the children are born, and they're also raised super quickly. So it's like how she
Okay.
tries to like deal with this new situation and her children. And these
Okay,
children
got
are
it.
specifically designed to be made into children who are going to go to war, essentially. Like one demon child is worth 10,000 humans in the battle.
Well,
But all of her children are born with abilities that have no place in war. One of them is like very good at building. One of them's
yeah.
really it's like capable of talking to animals. One of them is a really good chef, and one of them can equip every single weapon in the entire world, which is an actual war ability, but he uses it to farm.
I'd do it.
So the hero of the game, so essentially she gets to reincarnate in a game she's played before, and the hero of the game is essentially who she played as. So she refers to the hero as hers, like as her property in a way, but not like you belong to me. But she's just like, you're mine. I've played as you, like in a way, like
Yeah.
she says it in a way where he kind of develops a crush for her.
Okay.
And a lot of the series is just about motherhood and her adapting to the world. So one episode is
Okay.
literally she's just like, I have 4 toddlers to deal with, and I'm tired. So the
I'd
husband
imagine so.
so the husband and the hero for an entire episode are trying to deal with the children, and I think at one point they're just like, motherhood is like a war zone, and she's been dealing with this for like on a daily basis. Like it gives her props for like the amount of ability she's like the amount of stuff she has to do as a mother on her own, dealing with
Yeah.
a rather busy father because he's like the demon king. He has an entire nation to worry
Yeah.
about. Even he softens up at some points. Like the first daughter they have sneaks off at night because the children are grow faster than normal, and
Yeah.
she sneaks off to go see her father, and the two talk as they watch the moon. Like it's implied that he's trying his best in his own way, but he's very cold and standoffish.
Okay.
And I really
Yeah. Yeah.
hope that it's like I really hope it's just them getting together and closer and growing as kinder people.
Yeah.
Because when I give you the synopsis about a world summoned to another world just to get pregnant, that sounds like a very
Bad.
nasty hentai, right? But
Yeah, that sounds like literally every fucking like hentai that involves a monster.
yeah, but I feel it takes that rather, very bad synopsis and gives it a rather good enough spin that I feel happy after reading a new episode or
Okay.
chapter. Even though I'm pretty sure if you read it, you get a different opinion because we have different thoughts on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I
She's
mean, it is a
never
whole thing,
sexually
so long as
abused,
it's
man.
consensual.
It's kind of consensual. She
I
has a baby by accident. So here's what happens.
I think most people technically have babies by accident.
So what happens is the hero has his gaggle of girls as a hero.
Ah,
One of them is a mage who develops a cookie to where if somebody eats half and she eats that half, she literally just a child just appears.
oh,
She unknowingly, because what happens is the hero says something and she just kind of drops the cookie, so it ends up in the main character's hand, and she gives
wow.
part of it to the Demon King. So she just ends up popping out a child in like 3 seconds, and she's just like, "Why is this child here now?" So it wasn't even an
Well,
accident. I think if I recall, she agrees to the first child. The first child is definitely
yeah,
consensual. The second child
yeah.
is an accident, and then every child after that has been an accident in a way because just the thought of having a baby. So the demon king has a demon mother, and the demon mother used to be the demon king or queen, and she
Okay.
specifically designs everything in a way to get pregnant. She literally has a dress that gets people pregnant.
I'm suddenly having flashbacks to the fucking Monster Girl Encyclopedia.
Yeah, exactly. So like there's a couple things like that where I'm sure you'd be more uncomfortable, but when I read it, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is stupid and I love it. Because she still
I'm
is willing to have the children. It's just everyone's just like,
yeah.
oh, the main character is super crafty. She's managed to have these children quicker than we expected. But
I
no,
think
all of this is just accidental circumstances. Is how she ends up with these children summoning, getting born so fast.
yeah. I think with me it's more just the fact that I find the emphasis that so much of, for lack of a better term, straight culture
Yeah, the point
has
with this
on making children kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, but the point is in this world is that if she doesn't have these children, the demons will all die because there is a
Yeah.
army of humans that's like 1 million strong. So she needs
I'm
to have these children
wondering
quickly and has to raise them quickly in order for the demons to survive.
I'm wondering if that's in some way metaphorical for Japan's declining birth rate.
It could be. Another thing is that there's a succubus that works for the Demon King, who, if I recall correctly, is a virgin.
Okay.
So she tries her
Uh
best as like, I'm a succubus, this is my job, but she doesn't know what she's
yeah.
doing.
Hey, um we should probably continue. Before we do, I will just say that in regards to Beware the Villainess, the correct ship, I'm kidding, of course, ship whatever the fuck you want, is the main character, her butler, and the original heroine of the story.
Oh.
The original heroine and the main character's butler are jealous of each other, and it is the funniest fucking thing to me.
You'll have to link that to me so I can see it. Also, we've gone for like an hour. This is
Yeah,
typical
you
for
need to
us,
finish your
so
chapter. I mean, you need to finish your paragraph at least, and then I guess we'll do this last
you want
email.
to do that next, until the line shows up.
I think we'll, yeah, until the next line, like once the email's done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By this time, he had done some Google research and learned that after a few successful dates with a certain girl, you could take her back to your room for a bonus sex round. God, this dude's a
Did
loser.
he just miss this trend on YouTube or what?
One, that, two, has he been like, instead of worrying about focusing on one girl, has he been trying to like do a different girl a day? So like he's never gone to like the final date for any of them. Like this dude is playing unoptimally, or he does not have a favorite. In which case, I am very disappointed in him.
I have a
That's
few that I just am not keen on. Um,
I have one that I hate, and it's the really bratty one.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not keen on her, but for me, it was Momo, and
Yeah,
wasn't
the
big on
actual
Nikki.
child cat girl.
Yeah, wasn't as big on Nikki because of the fact that she felt more like that, like, elitist gamer type person.
She is.
That kind of just kind of that kind of just kind of that kind of
Oh,
just soured my mood on her
did you know why I hate Audrey? Because
because
she
she's an
insults my
asshole.
favorite character.
Fuck, can't.
Kiana,
Yeah,
the girl who has
Kiana.
the lady that actually has a child already, and she's kind of a single mom.
Yeah, she's adorable.
She's adorable. She's very, work centric. And then
Yeah.
she was my favorite character, and she immediately got insulted. So I was like, all right, I hate you now for insulting my waifu. That's literally what happened. So, I was like, I hate you. So I don't like you. And
Yeah,
that's literally my reason for not liking her, even though
yeah.
I kind of really do like characters who are assholes. It's
Oh
just,
yeah.
please don't be, do not insult my asshole, please.
I
And then,
wait.
sorry, I'm getting kind of,
Oh,
sorry, I'm getting a bit more drunk right now. I'm not gonna get
that
wasted or
phrase.
anything, but it's like, I'm getting super late now, so,
Uh,
Right, so my line. Anyways, this dude's a
yeah.
fake gamer and I hate him. That the
I
point
mean,
was, in fact, to bed each of the available girls as the difficulty of the
how
round
did you not
increased.
know that?
See, he's a fake gamer.
Also, like, what? Like, the best thing to do is typically like, okay, you start out, you introduce yourself to everyone, and then you fucking zero in.
But apparently his master plan was to play until every available girl was at the stage where one more good date would result in the sex round, and then go through each of the girls one by one
Don't
in-game
you have
minute
to
at
like?
a time.
But aren't like Momo and Celeste only unlocked after you like complete like certain characters things?
Alright, so I'm gonna pull up the character sheet and see if I can recall how to get every character.
I know
Momo, you
Celeste, you
get
have to
for
get like a
Momo, you
what?
get for if you're in the park or at least outside somewhere and you drop an item that is related to fish. She will then show
That's
up and
right.
be like, "Can I have it?" Celeste is you have to go to the beach at night and I think drop a certain item as well.
Yeah, you have to get a certain item, and it's the whole thing of like getting that item, because it's like an alien GPS or something of the sort.
Yeah, Kyu shows up after your first successful boning of someone,
Yeah,
and then I
she's
forget
like,
what.
I want in.
Yeah, and then to unlock Venus, you have
You
to
have to complete everyone.
yeah, you have to have with the main cast, not everyone, and
Oh
Kyu,
yeah,
main cast
main
and Kyu.
cast. Yeah. Um, and I think it's like even after she shows up, it's a whole thing of uh, like, or no, is it that she unlocks hard mode?
Venus will introduce herself as the final challenge for the player, as no human has ever successfully wooed her, is what it is. I've
Yeah,
played on normal because I'm not really that dude where I'm like I have to play on super hard.
yeah,
And Venus is just like at that point the
yeah,
game's difficulty probably just through programming alone is just like yeah I'm pretty hard.
yeah. Because with each date, successful or not, it gets harder.
Yeah,
Which means that if you fuck up a date,
it's still hard.
yep.
I'm pretty sure there's like an actual end to the stuff though.
Anyway,
Yeah. I wonder if she's gonna be in the next game. Anyways, sorry,
wow.
sorry. I have to exit out. Either way, this dude's playing unoptimally, and I hate him.
Yeah.
It's a good day to run it. And then go through. He had decided to go after the Japanese girl Aiko first, then try for the blue-haired gamer girl Nikki. Ugh.
I mean, Aiko is the better choice of the two.
Yeah, I will agree. Aiko. Aiko was amazing.
Then again, I just love anyone who's just like, yeah, I fuck.
I still remember, Kyo's just like, I have yellow fever.
Oh, fucking hell. That fucking moment. Fuck.
Kyo's got some charisma to her.
Yeah, again, it's one of those whole things of, yeah, I fuck. Well, is it like one of the things that you can give her an endurance band?
I don't know if there's a joke about that.
Anyway, from KevinLR89@gmail.com. Subject: a brief explanation. Body continued. It may seem odd to you to be spoken to about too many twos. About pride from the man who was your late wife's paramour in the final years of her life. I imagine this information comes to you as only a minor shock. I'd be surprised if you didn't at least suspect that Aaron was not entirely faithful to you. This is a terrible time to bring this up, my dude. And I bet on some level you were certain. Young married couples rarely last these days.
Oof.
I swear, every time someone fucking brings that up, my immediate thought is, yeah, because people aren't getting trapped in unhealthy relationships that they have no escape from. The increased divorce rate is not a bad thing.
I know, but at the same time, this is just how I was raised. It's just my parents always talked about. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, hun. I'm glad people can get out of this really quickly.
Yeah.
But for a lot of the older generation, or at least from what I've been told from my parents or my mom, it's just people also don't try as hard as they would to make things work as well. But I don't know.
I don't feel like that's accurate, because part of the whole thing is as soon as, like, no reason, what is it called? Like, no reason divorces or something like that. Basically, like, you don't have to present a reason for the divorce, you can just get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, as soon as those started becoming commonplace, the suicide rate among married women dropped.
My actual perspective on this is that I'd rather it be easier than harder.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
not my life. If people want to get a divorce, they can. It's just
yeah.
this
And
is
if,
probably
like,
what's going through their head. Is they were raised under like ideas and ideals similar to just people aren't trying as hard. Is probably where this
yeah.
is coming from.
And it's one of those things of just, if you think you can make the relationship work, go ahead. But honestly, like, if you stop having those feelings, it's probably a sign that the relationship is not working out.
I personally think it should go have a talk where you say you want to get a
Yeah.
divorce, go to marriage counseling, and if that doesn't work, get a divorce. Unless
Yeah.
it's abuse, then skip the marriage counseling section. Just get a divorce. I am not trying to say that there's a universal way to do this. Everyone has
Oh,
their
yeah.
own experiences, and to say that there should be a universal rule for any of this is just foolish.
It's just a whole thing of, like, just because certain people have specific ideals doesn't mean that people should be trapped in a situation that they don't want to be in, is basically the best way to put this.
I'm just gonna shout out my mom real quick. Despite being a Christian mother, she has been very open to a lot of things. She has told me specifically she would never herself get an abortion
Hmm.
unless she was raped. She probably would then, maybe.
Yeah.
But she's also told me she's very pro-choice, not like the
Yeah.
fake it. She literally is just, it's not her life, so
Well, like,
she's just like, if you want to get, abortion, go ahead.
sometimes the
She has
last thing
kind
you
of a,
need. Oh,
she's kind of a stickler to where like if that child is like 9 months and is about to get born, you're kind of late then, don't do it then. But like
well,
if you want to
yeah,
get an
that
abortion
late.
early, go ahead.
But, like, no clinic is going to do it that late.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, oftentimes the last thing a person needs in their life is a kid.
Yeah. Also, she taught me a very important lesson when I was super young and super, obnoxious and annoying. When I was super young and first learning about gay people, my response to that was, I only want to have sex with a woman if she's capable of having a child. And my mom turned around and said, you're going to be really, really sorry if the woman you marry is,
Infertile.
infertile. And you're going to look like a dick if you say that, essentially is what she told
Yeah.
me. So,
Yeah.
my mom's been very good about, despite, being
Yeah.
under the
The
impression,
the ability to give birth is not what makes a woman.
Yeah, exactly. My mom literally told me that from a very early age, and ever since then, I've been
Yeah.
very careful about saying stuff like that because she's right. Be
Uh,
very careful about, with any statement that you use as a blanket statement for anything.
yeah. Also,
Yeah.
because kind of tangential to the subject, trans rights. That's all. Um,
I mean, I personally would. Oh, that's my mom actually had a conversation with me about trans rights too. She and me both agree that if somebody is trans, we would never date them if they told us. But let's say,
oh,
for instance, that they didn't tell me, and I've been dating and falling in love with this person for about like 2 or 3 years, and I've like decided I want to marry them. If I figured out then that they ended up being trans, I'd probably be okay with it.
it is one of those things of like,
Here's the
best way
thing,
I could
man.
put it is that I just wouldn't really care.
You and me are a bit different in that, and I understand you are
Yeah.
much more in that field than me, but I've also realized something.
Mm.
Trans people and gay people can do way better than me, and I know that sounds very detrimental, but what I mean is that they can find someone who could be exactly like me, who is very comfortable with those kind of things. So I'm
Yeah.
not under the impression that just because they're trans or gay, they're trying to flirt or date me. They're really not.
Oh yeah.
So I don't need to worry about that kind of stuff. It's not going to affect me. Let's say, for instance, the gay person is interested in me and they do end up telling me, I'll just say I'm not interested. But I'm fairly
Yeah.
certain that's not going to happen
Yeah.
unless for whatever reason I end up intentionally going to places filled with those kinds of people, like a gay bar or.
I don't know. I just suddenly imagine like, so, you want to go out? It's like, that's a bad idea on your part. You could do better.
That's exactly what I had planning in my head. If that ever happened, it's just, oh, babe, you can do way better than me.
Then again, I think you basically said the same thing before to a person anyway, so
If I
based
did,
on what
then
you've told me.
maybe. I don't really.
You talked about having like this one girl that was into you and you were just like, nope,
Yeah,
not real.
oh, I didn't. The thing is about that lady who apparently had a crush on me is that I didn't even know her that well.
Ah,
So I had to put her down because I would like to get to know someone before I date them.
that's just, yeah, understandable. Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
God, we are so bad at staying on topic.
yeah, uh, all things considered, you were fairly lucky as far as cuckolds go.
Oh my
No,
God.
lucky would be as if lucky would be if it was his kink.
Yeah, and I don't seem to think
That's
it is.
lucky as far as cuckolds go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just had a very perfect image. I'm gonna try to say this quickly so we can get back on topic, but imagine your kink is getting cuckolded. So for your birthday, your wife just pulls out a man, like just like invites you over, like this is the man I've been having sex with.
So, honey,
I'm
I
not
know
privy
you've
to this.
told me about your kink, and like, I wasn't fully on board, but then I met Harold.
Just this dude comes out from like somewhere. Harold and I have been fucking behind your back.
I don't know, I was just imagining not even that. I'm just imagining, like, so, we've been talking, and we haven't done it yet,
That's the best part,
but
But
if you'd like to watch,
if you'd like to watch, he said he'd be willing.
it turns out that being watched is his kink.
it, it makes him feel good to know. I've already talked to him about all the places you'd like to hide during it, so that if he just happens to
He
look over
likes a
and see
running commentary track.
he's also maybe he's also kind of into people discovering him after he's done it.
He
So if
likes
you
it
just
when people walk in.
yeah, so if you want to just walk in after at some point, he'd be fine with it.
I will say right now, not kink shaming anyone who has have a cuckoldry kink. You do whatever you want. Um, I'm clean and discreet.
Um,
At heart, I'm a good guy. You were sleeping with another man's wife
yeah.
without like. And despite the fact that we haven't known each other very long, I think you're probably not too bad either. Otherwise, Erin wouldn't have felt it necessary to keep you in her life, but that could have just been guilt.
Fuck this guy.
The thing with this is that these two pieces don't really seem to, like, interlock properly.
Yeah, and I went ahead and
Dead
read the
wife.
part after that, like the part we're not gonna read since we're gonna stop. And it
Yeah.
immediately gets back into Huniepop. Like he just read this and went, "Wow, don't care," and went back to Huniepop.
This seems to be part all of one big email.
Yeah.
Because the
Oh, you're
continued thing.
right. Yeah.
But Dead Wife, haunted porn game. Those
Like,
do not mix well.
like after we're done, I'm gonna skip ahead to like when he first sees what I assume is going to be his dead wife, and I wonder how this conversation is going to go. Because
I
I wonder if
think,
it's just
like,
gonna be like, "I know you cheated on me," and she's just gonna be like, "Oh."
I think the thing I just remember is that it was mentioned she was covered in bruises.
Yeah, I skipped down there, and she is definitely covered in bruises. Now that I
As
think
I,
about it too, this might be
oh my
foreshadowing. She
god,
went
that
to
is so
Alcoholics
obvious.
Anonymous.
What?
He did say he went to Alcoholics Anonymous, so he might have a,
Yep.
drunken man beating story.
Oh my god.
And that just makes me sad.
That really doesn't fit with haunted porn game.
Yeah, no, haunted.
Also, I just looked at the fucking first thing with the question mark, question mark, question mark. It
Yeah,
is so obvious that that's a different artist.
I was giving it the benefit of the doubt because it's just, you know. I'm just gonna say that now. I kept scrolling down, and she gets naked, and she's kind of chubby. So, chubby pride, I guess.
And nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fucking hell, what the? Okay, anyway, because we might continue this later anyway, so.
Let's actually finish.
Yeah, you read your line.
So then, yeah, I wonder at this point if you even put up any of the pieces together. I'm sure you remember the date as far as the game is concerned. The name of the month doesn't matter, but it was a Thursday. Thursday the 9th. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh my
Gosh
fuck. Did
dang
he
it. I
kill his
scrolled down.
wife because he found out that she was cheating on him?
Oh, if that's the story, that might actually be kind of interesting.
Still doesn't mesh with a haunted porn game.
Yeah, it doesn't mesh with the haunted porn game. Haunted porn games, I think, should be like a section where only yandere show up. Hey man, any haunted porn game where the lady's kind of mad you're real and you get to date actual people is just hilarious in my mind.
Fucking turns into a Charon game.
I'm just picturing, I'm just picturing more Giffany scenarios.
Or that, yeah. You still haven't played Doki Doki Literature Club, have you?
Nope, I've been trying to get my
Okay.
friend to play it with me together.
Uh, you know, okay, when you get back in town, maybe that's a thing we could do. Like, play it together.
I'm in a different friend, but if you want to do that, sure, we can do that then.
I mean, if you want to.
No offense to you, it's just I
Like,
have a friend who's been specifically able to like not see a single spoiler.
okay.
So I want to do it with him because we both can go in
Yeah.
blind. No offense to
Okay,
you.
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
already having a date for season 2 of Umbrella Academy, which is out now. So go watch the
yeah.
Umbrella Academy if you have Netflix. It's great.
And possibly read the comic written by Gerard Way.
Oh
Yes,
right,
that Gerard Way.
I forgot. Yeah, it's actual comic. So come on. Yeah.
Anyway,
If only we could do what are we have
I
WAR,
might
right? What are we
actually do
reading?
that for Back Alley Book Club. I might actually do comics from time to time, but that I will say that would definitely require like actual editing,
I
which
know, but I'm just
honestly
picturing
would just
WAR
mean that
where
I
we could
have to get
do.
off my fucking ass and actually put forth an effort. Um,
Yeah. But I'm just picturing instead of what are we reading, we're just doing what are we watching. I'm still waiting for that. We can just
oh,
watch.
that okay, yeah.
Also, we should
Uh,
just force Tom to watch Umbrella Academy, is what we should do.
yes, yes.
Because Tom's gonna watch Umbrella Academy and you're gonna finish Epithet Erased.
I need to, yes. For the past year, your wife and I have been in what I would call a wonderful, albeit abnormal relationship.
Fuck you.
What the fuck is this email?
This dude's a dick.
This doesn't feel like you're talking about someone who just died.
No wonder this is considered an asshole.
It may have started out as a sex thing, but it evolved into so much more. The fact that she had known you for so long and had only ever dated you had her in a kind of blissful ignorance. I brought her to a state of blissful awareness. Oh my fucking god.
Oh my gosh.
Just the one, Dionysus. I wish I was drunk right now.
Hey, I'm already drunk, dude. That's how I'm being so.
That is the most pretentious bullshit.
It really is.
This doesn't feel like a person. This doesn't feel like an email sent by someone.
You know what this feels like?
About someone's dead wife.
This feels like it was written by a dude who, was like subscribed to the idea of the Chad, wonder guy and the virgin pathetic loser.
Like the guy who thinks the cock carousel is a real thing.
Yes.
Have you heard that term?
I've heard of it, but please explain it to me.
Literally what it was. Fuck, I need to find the actual post. It was just some fucking like incel or nice guy bitching about girls like, oh, you see, fuck, I'm going to have to search the word cock carousel. I'm going to have to figure out how to spell carousel. Okay. Let me move the microphone down that way. Oh, hey, Ichitan's commenting on something. Boop. Let me see if I can... Oh my god, there's a Wiktionary post about the term. Let's see, where the... Oh my... I hate the fact that this is going to be in my fucking search terms now.
I can look it up if you want.
No, I just...
Wait, I think I can get it. Can I predict it real quick?
Yeah, predict it.
Is it heavily implying that a woman will go from man to man as if because the carousel rotates, so it's like a girl just,
Yeah.
constantly getting dicked by several different men?
Yep. The specific context in which it was first used was basically a whole thing of some guy like, when a woman says that she just wants to settle down, what she actually means is that once she turned six, that she's been riding the cock carousel from since she was 16, and now that she's used, dried up, and can't attract men anymore, she wants to actually get into a proper relationship.
One, men
No.
do that too. Yeah, one, no. Two, I'm pretty sure men could fall under the same category. This isn't a singular woman thing.
3, where's this cock carousel? I want to ride.
Yeah, that's just people when they're young just end up dating a lot of different people anyway. So I don't.
They're
know
more likely to sleep around because they're exploring themselves.
that too.
That happens when you're finding out who you are. Because you also, find out who you are sexually.
Don't quote me on anything related to sex or dating because I'm a 22-year-old virgin who's never had sex or dated anyone. I know that sounds really depressing, but it's just more for personal reasons that I don't really want to go down that path. But
I mean, dude, I'm
even
practically aromantic. Like, I'm practically aromantic, so it's not like I have much room to talk, but mine's more just out of general, like,
I'm drunk enough to really just admit it that I understand that I am currently too depressed to date.
Yeah.
So, it would be more of a hindrance to somebody else. Like, I would probably hurt someone if I dated someone right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not in any way to, judge other people for dating.
Yeah. But there's also a whole thing of, like, so long as you're being responsible, fuck it, sleep around. Who cares?
Please wear a condom.
Yeah.
I've met too
or
many
use a
people
diaphragm.
I've met too many people who've ended up, having children with people when they weren't ready to, which is
If
also
he
kind of
tells you
why.
he can't fit in a condom, he's lying.
Yeah, I've actually not. I've been, even if I've never had sex, I've been at least shown a condom and how they work, and for 100%, you can fit in a condom.
Like, do make sure that you're getting the proper size because, you don't want it to be too small because that ends up, actually could end up causing some problems for prolonged, because wearing it for too long. But they're saying they're too big. Like, extra large condoms exist for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't buy one that's too big for you.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor and assume yourself the average. Buy average condom.
If that's too big,
If that's
whoops.
too, just get yourself a bit in the mood. Put one on, see if it fits.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Um,
we should just rework the entire American, sex ed, because it
yeah,
doesn't.
it doesn't work. Telling people that they're going to die does not work.
Yeah, I didn't even was told I could die, but like, my teacher didn't even sit me down and like be like, "Here's how you put on a condom." I had to. My brother, not even my parents did that. My brother just, sat me down. It's like, "All right, buddy, here's how you put on a condom." I mean, he didn't show
Yeah,
me
because,
directly, but it's just like he pulled out an actual condom and like, showed me how they work,
yeah,
and it's just like, oh, hmm.
bananas aren't expensive. Um, but, yeah, well, this the whole thing. And then you end up, with the fucking chewing gum argument, which is the stupidest fucking shit.
As much as I'd love for you to tell me more, let's actually finish this, all
We
right?
need to finish this.
I think it's my line for the past year, right?
Yep.
Was
No,
your
no,
dad?
no, I've been reading that one. Fuck, it's my
Oh,
line.
all right,
That's
blissful
right.
awareness.
The blissful awareness bullshit. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god. She seemed to think that a life of unfulfilled promises from a man who drinks and plays video games every day was what marriage was all about. I
One, that's exactly what my brother does. I mean,
thought you were gonna say it was what you do.
that's close. I don't drink that often, but I'm heading down that path. Let's be real. Haha.
Uh,
Alcoholism jokes, but it's just you date what you get. They're not going to change.
well, you shouldn't try to change someone. You should try to better yourself for whoever you're dating, but that's a different thing entirely. Um,
Yes, that's
that's just
that's
gen. Sorry.
okay. So, for example, I can go back to my mom. My mom knows for a fact that my dad is very stubborn and
Hmm.
unchanging in a lot of ways, but that doesn't stop her from telling him when he's wrong and
Yeah.
trying to change him still, because my dad is not abusive, but he's the living example of that conservative old man that's kind
Yeah.
of racist and sexist in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But the more my mom talks to him, and as his kids grow older, he has made strides to get better.
Yeah. But
Yeah, but he
but,
you know he hasn't he's not going to fully change who he is. My dad's an asshole through and through, but he's worked to get better.
but yeah. Also, only a jackass is going to care overly about their partner's video game habits. Now, there is a point where it would become too much, and you are just straight up neglecting your significant other, which you don't.
Which
But
is a potential problem with playing games. As a person who plays them a lot, I completely understand. You can be
oh yeah,
neglected to other things if you play them for too long.
yeah. But it's still this feels again. This doesn't feel like a fucking person writing it.
This feels like a dude who thinks this is what happens when a Chad steals your girlfriend. This literally is what this sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. Like hell. If oh my god, I can't. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but if I was the other man and the person who was cheating on me, cheating on the other person with me, cheating on their significant other with me, died, my thought wouldn't be to fucking gloat. I'd be like, Oh,
Back to
that's
my
awkward.
back to my
I,
sorry. Back to my
I'm real
parents.
sorry, homie.
Back to my parents again. My mother specifically told me she does not want to know if during the early years of their marriage if my father cheated. I know for a fact he doesn't do it now, but let's say, my dad, as I said, he's kind of an asshole. If he did during the beginning of their marriage, my mom doesn't want to know that because, she doesn't want to ruin a very nice thing she has now just because somebody did something in the past.
But,
And from
yeah,
that same vein, do not make a man who's already depressed about his wife being dead to add on to that by adding, by the way, your wife was also a cheater. Don't
and
do
don't
that.
gloat about it.
Yeah, please do not. Just be like, if put him in,
If you
much as like,
feel the need to tell them, it like it better start with. So I'm real sorry, man, but
much like you mentioned that that somebody did have a crush on me in the past. When I brought this up with my teacher, she explicitly said, put them down nicely. When giving somebody bad news, put them down nicely.
yeah, like
Do not
don't
gloat.
fucking gloat about the fact that you slept with their wife. What the fuck is this?
This is pathetic, is what this is.
This is a whole thing. Like as I've said before, part of the whole point with this is like trying to give people advice. Um, in a weird roundabout way. Don't write a person like this.
It
Like
could work, I think, in very specific circumstances,
in just
but not a creepypasta.
not a creepypasta and not a thing where, because again, it just feels like a fucking cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I showed your wife the light with my dick.
That's a very, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. I didn't steal your love away. You pushed her out and took her for granted. Whether she ended up leaving you or not, her unwavering faith was inevitable. Her wavering faith was inevitable.
See, very, the very,
Neckbeardy?
very neckbeardy versus Chad versus neckbeard kind of writing.
But the Chad speaking like a neckbeard.
Yeah, yeah. Give me a second.
Yep,
I need to put this away.
probably.
I could go on about how your faults and my strengths.
Oh my gods.
Chad versus Virgin. This is literally what's happening.
The Virgin Yandere Dev versus the Chad Scott Coffin.
Scott Cawthon is a Chad with a huge cunt. Sorry, I don't know if I could say that. My bad. Big D Scott Cawthon versus the Chad versus the Virgin Yandere. Look at this: the Virgin pathetic Yandere Dev versus the Chad married Scott Cawthon. Because if I remember correctly, he's kind of a religious man, right?
Yeah, he is a religious man. He has a wife and kids. The whole thing that was the whole thing with his earlier games is that most of them were in some way like religious.
Which isn't a big market, so I'm not gonna
Yeah,
fault the guy for
most
that. If
most
anything,
religious games aren't very good, I will say.
as an indie developer making religious games out of the goodness of your heart, I am not going to
Yeah.
fault you for that. Because you are doing something
Well,
for yourself and what you believe you should do. I'm not going to get
like,
into the morals of it, but like, come on.
yeah.
Any man who sits down and says, I'm going to create religious games for the sheer like power of the Lord, good on you, man. I'm not going to fault you for that.
Well, like, also at least he's not pulling like a fucking Butch Hartman and like hiding the fact that something is fucking religious before until the last minute, or like claiming that he's curing autism.
Or making an entire TV service about Christian religion
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
a religious paywall. Yeah.
that was the thing. He hid the fact that it was Christian from his fucking like the people who were giving him money for it.
Yeah, Scott Cawthon was just like, knock, knock, here it is, my game, Christianity, I did it for the Lord.
Yeah, like he didn't hide that, and like with FNAF, there isn't a religious message to it.
Yeah. In the rare instance that Scott Cawthon could ever see this, from my drunk mouth.
You're all right.
Good man. Even if your game has spawned a rather, cringy fandom, I'm not gonna. You're a good guy. I love you.
Even if your game has a large following of small children.
And even though I know exactly how suggestive some of your fans can get,
That too.
good on you. I actually really enjoyed the community just from watching other people play the
Yeah.
game.
Also, it gave us One Night at Flumpty's, which is just a fucking stellar pair of games. Have you seen those?
No, but that sounds, just from the name
They're
alone, that sounds
They are
hilarious.
full parody. They are full parody. It's a full hand-drawn style.
Oh. Ooh.
Um,
Ooh.
like the first one is kind of it's done the same way that like FNAF 1 is. Uh, but like there is so much fucking detail packed into like every little thing. To the point to where like there's fucking Pooh Bear's head like mounted on the wall in the first one. And like you click on his nose and it makes a noise. Or no, like something like that. As well as like the second one, like the office you're in, has fucking Piglet's corpse like just hanging up on the wall.
That's amazing.
But like all these details, and it's like all intricately done. Like there is actually like effort put in, and as it states, like each one is only one night. Although the second one has a hard mode, like
Nice.
it has the 20 equivalent.
Yeah.
But like balance is actually put into it, like actual thought, and the fact that like you have like the different like pictures of like each character as they show up like everywhere on the map, but then like it is a full like animated jump scare in which like all of a sudden like the thing's face changes and it's not like one of those Photoshop things. It's like actually drawn in a different way completely.
Cool.
Like it's like I'd suggest like looking at Go Motion's video like review of the series if you just want like a general thing to look at it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I believe both of them are free, so
Yeah. So any man who can create something that actually, gets a fandom this big has essentially changed the world.
in a way, yeah,
Yeah, even if it's not on the political or grand scale, the modern person has been changed because of Five Nights at Freddy's.
in a weird way. Now I'm just thinking about that. Okay, I know you stated before that you were a fan of My Little Pony. Do you recall a series called Friendship is My Little Pony Friendship is Witchcraft?
No, my friend, when he showed me My Little Pony, he introduced it to me with the Rainbow Factory and Cheerly's
Uh,
Garden, which are very edgy and revolve a lot around murder.
I wish I could say I was surprised, but we are talking about a fandom that got its start on 4chan.
Yeah, so that's how I got into My
Uh,
Little Pony. I need to actually finish
but
that, sadly.
Ginny Nicholson, who people didn't realize, but she was the person behind like My Little Pony Friendship is Witchcraft, which was like this massive thing. It was basically an abridged series version of
Nice.
it. Uh, did just a full-on retrospective autopsy of the fandom since the last BronyCon happened like earlier this year.
Huh. Cool.
And it was actually kind of interesting to look at.
I'll have to
Like
look at it.
I'm not into the show. Like it's not my thing. But just that deep dive into the fandom from someone who's basically been like ingrained in it from the very beginning was interesting.
As somebody super depressed, I think I got it in My Little Pony just because of how happy it is, you know?
Yeah.
Because I could see why it interested me, but like, this isn't about My Little Pony, so
Yeah, it's also your line.
I haven't got to finish, right?
I don't think you
Okay.
started.
No, I think I did, which we got into this because he said I could go on about your faults and my strengths, and that's when we stopped because it pissed me off.
Did he say oh my
Yep, but it really doesn't matter, especially now. Nothing can bring your wife back. Fuck you. I know that you've suffered in this. How could you not? But that isn't enough.
What?
What? But I'm not talking about justice or revenge or anything that dramatic. I'm talking about evening up a little bit. The night she
What?
life, the night that you were driving back from some dipshit party with a BAC of
Blood alcohol level.
a night of mutual regret for all
Oh
who.
my god, she died in a car crash.
Do you remember that I do volunteer work sometimes? That my main job is driving ambulances and emergency response vehicles? I don't think that's volunteer work, right?
Um, I think it can be volunteer work.
Oh, just the driver, not the
It's
actual medical
driving.
worker.
Yeah, the driver.
Okay, that changes things. I can understand that. You know,
And
I was one of the first responders on the scene. Not that it made any difference.
I
And that's
was
gonna
really
be the.
tempted to I was really tempted to make a joke, but it would also be a Diamond Isn't Breakable spoiler.
But I'm gonna raise your joke, and I'm just going to read the first part of the next line. Part of the game involves talking with each of the player's
Oh my
potential mates.
god.
Like he
I
completely
no.
ignores that and goes completely back to Huniepop. Like this dude's that
It doesn't
pathetic.
it doesn't mesh. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things, like weird ominous stuff being interjected that meshes. I think I've mentioned this book before. It was I really enjoyed this book. The Monster of Eldenhaven.
If you mentioned
Uh,
it, I wasn't around. I know for a fact that is the first time I heard that, so if you wish to continue,
I've
go
mentioned
ahead.
it to you. I've mentioned it to you specifically because I mentioned it was also written by one of the members of What Pumpkin.
Oh, well, if you did, it's been a long time and I'm drunk. So go ahead,
Uh,
continue.
Homoerotic, violent, like
Oof.
thriller type thing. It's fucking amazing. Read it. Um, but one of
Oh,
the
do you
things
know
that
what I
happened.
actually want to read?
Mm.
You know, my mom bought a book that specifically is designed around, I think is the phrase is white fragility. She bought a book that essentially is about why white people get defensive whenever things like Black Lives Matter shows up. So I'm hoping that she can lend me that book when she's done with it because I feel like that would be a very interesting read as a white guy.
Oh yeah. I will say part of that is the whole thing. Um, it was brought up by Lindsay Ellis on one of her many videos involving Phantom of the Opera, because she was specifically mentioning like the Arabian, I think like the Saudi Arabian harem or something like that, and the fact that like white people started making up so much shit about them because they weren't allowed in.
That's
It's like
incredibly petty and hilarious.
they must be doing all sorts of like sexy, scandalous stuff in there and selling slaves and all that sort of stuff.
So you
But like
introduced
the
me
thing
to
is
Cyrus the Skeptic, right?
yeah,
And I remember watching his video specifically about, I think it's polyamory, not polygamy, right?
yeah, polyamory. Polygamy means marrying multiple people.
Yeah, but he's polyamorous, right?
Yeah,
And he
it's
talks
like
about
him
how
and
when you get those kind of relationships, you gotta,
yeah,
you know, set the rules. So he probably
yep.
he's like sorted, or just he has different days where he's with different people, right?
Uh, I mean, I haven't watched that video, but wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
This is something I hope I learn about because I actually am taking a class about sexuality this year.
sexuology. Um,
It's called Issues in Psychology, so
yeah,
pretty fun. So what I
but
love about that teacher is that she's told me any class because we're in the South that's
yeah,
related to anything scandalous religious wise is not really very popular. So they get around that by naming classes in a way that don't involve things like,
yeah.
the original example was evolutionary psychology. So for sure if a class was named something around the lines of like the issue of like sexuology and psychology, people wouldn't join it.
Yeah.
So, just another little fun tidbit.
Well, yeah, it's the South. But anyway, Monster of Eldenhaven. There's a moment in it in which it starts like intercutting with uh like backstory stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, and it is like some gruesome details and shit like that. But what makes that work is the tone that has been presented so far.
Oh?
and that it's already been like gruesome and violent and horrific and sexual, and so it's like, all right, this isn't giving me whiplash.
Yeah, this is what I've been expecting the entire time.
This story has a tonal issue.
Yeah. We
That
can
is
see
the
right there at the end. Yeah, your wife has been fucking me behind your back. So anyways, I've been playing this porn game.
your dead wife.
So I'm actually gonna skip ahead. I don't care if we're gonna read
But
this later because fuck it. But
yeah,
like, cause like there's
uh,
like a question mark, question mark, question mark in the next scene. So I think we're about to be
yeah.
introduced to the dead wife, and I really wanted to figure out what happens when he realizes it's his dead wife or whatever.
Yeah, anyway, special thank you to Summer Moon Soldier and Destiny Baird for supporting us on Patreon. If you like what we do and would like to support us in any way, then consider going down to the link in the description and giving any amount of money you want to our Patreon, really. Like any little
Subscribe
bit
to my
helps.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, do that to get pictures of his feet. Uh, Also, general YouTube bullshit. Yeah, you know what to do. Anyway, bye.
Goodbye.
Alright.